Hi everyone. Day 37. Ironic that yesterday was such a good day, because today's not. I can barely get out of bed. It's later on in the day right now. I truly don't even have the energy to sit up and do anything. I don't know why. I'm so tired. I shouldn't say I don't know why. It's day 37 if I didn't already say that. I think I fell asleep at 4 a.m. last night, which released this morning. And I woke up at like 9 something. And there's just not enough sleep. And a lot of it's just because my head is just racing about like all the things I have to do. Or it's just racing for a million different reasons. Then I dropped my son off at work this morning and I went to the bank to put beneficiaries on my accounts. Which, just some stuff that you should do anyway, but my everyday accounts, I just never had it done. And I'll be fine on Friday, but I need to just make sure, stuff is in order, just in case. I'll be fine. It needs to be done anyway. And then I had a gap of like a half an hour between dropping my son at work and my appointment with the bank. So I stopped and got a rosemary olive oil bagel with egg, turkey sausage, and Munster cheese. I guess that's what I ordered. I haven't ordered that in so long. I used to order that a lot when I was working before the pandemic started. She came, and I got an iced coffee. I think I personally feel like this because of the iced coffee. My stomach does not do well usually with coffee. I'm very brand loyal to Starbucks because for whatever reason, Starbucks coffee is okay with my stomach. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is so not. But I went to someplace else. A friend just texted, "You up for a walk tomorrow?" No. I can tell you right now, I'm not out for a walk tomorrow. But I was so tired, so I got an iced coffee this morning. And I did only half caffeinated. Because usually I am pretty affected by caffeine. Actually, that's not true. I don't even know why I just said that. I don't know. I just didn't want like really big coffee with a lot of caffeine. Well, I am affected by caffeine when it comes to blood pressure, I should say. I'm not affected by caffeine when it comes to sleeping. Like, it's not like if I had a cappuccino at 9 o'clock at night, I would have any issue with going to sleep. I'm perfectly able to go to sleep just fine. And I admit that I have horrible habits and like, not horrible, just like not the best habits. And like getting ready for bed at night, doing it on time, doing it with a routine. I've been that way since I was a teenager. And I still am that way now. So I only have myself to blame for that, but like, it is what it is. Because I'm like crashing pretty hard today. It's Saturday, so I don't have to worry about work or anything. But I feel awful. I felt fine earlier. Like, I was just tired. It's so muggy outside. Maybe that's part of why I don't feel well. Maybe that's part of why I'm tired. I don't know. I can't believe I'm vlogging like this. Usually if I do a video like this, it's like I'm FaceTiming a close friend or something and I'm like, hi. People see how brave I am and all this stuff, and I'm like, the bravery to go on YouTube, and I don't even want to sit up. Anyway, I'm just real quick. Yeah, so I ate my food, and I'm not used to eating out for bagels. Maybe it was greasier than usual. Like, I in general have a very healthy diet. Whatever it was, my stomach is not being cooperative today. And it's probably because of not sleeping. It's probably because of stress. Though my blood pressure is okay. It's just a combination of stuff in my gut. You want to say, like, your gut tells you so much. Like, my gut is the first thing to tell me if I'm off. Gut health is so important. Oh, one weird thing that they told me to do, too, when they called in on my prescriptions, they said to go on a probiotic. And for a very, very long time, I was on probiotics. Not very, but I mean, like, several years I was on probiotics. Probably 5 or 6 years. Until my stomach seemed like everything was okay, and I'm like, I don't think I really need it anymore. There's no harm in taking it. But for me, my body is very sensitive to anything medication-wise. It'll be interesting to see how it works after the surgery when I'm taking antibiotics and probiotics and pain medication and all these different things. I'm tired and my stomach is not being cooperative. After I went to the bank, there's this nice little sweet spot in town, which I never even knew was there. Somebody in town who's a tailor told me about this one spot in town where, I did my, it's, that spot in town is, it's sort of hidden behind a park, but there's like a path and a bench, and you just sit on the bench, and there's cattails and dragonflies and wildflowers, and it's pretty close to the main road, so you do hear the cars, but you do also hear birds and either frogs or toads, and just a lot of cool, like, wildlife sounds. So after the bank, I went there to finish my coffee and finish the other half of my bagel. I should have known that today was going to be off, because when I ordered that bagel, I always order it with Munster cheese. And she came over and she says, we're out of Munster cheese. And I'm like, my day is ruined. I just had this gut feeling. I'm like, oh, I'll take Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese has holes in it. Like, there's something wrong with Swiss cheese, because it has all these holes in it. So the sandwich and the bagel was fine. And then I was sitting there and I was thinking about, I'm like, do I want to be here on my own? Do I want to see if someone's around? And I'm like, I kind of want a mixture of both. And I've been talking about, like, compartmentalizing my friends. And I was thinking, well, who's someone who's chill that will, like, enjoy where I am and still be, like, not barrage me with questions and stuff, but provide like warm, fuzzy company and let me just be at the same time. So I texted her and she was around and we just talked for a bit. As much as I didn't want to talk about the C word, that's pretty much all I talked about. And that was really nice. It was exactly what I needed. And then I went home, and a friend of mine, who I haven't seen in so long, someone I met through Landmark, the last course I did with Landmark was very, I guess, intensive, confronting, but the best personal development work I've ever done. And the group of people that were in my group, I know that's my son knocking on the door. I just want to vlog quick. The group of people that were in that course with me are like my siblings. They're like family. And yeah, one of them stopped by today and he was gonna bring ice cream. Or he did bring ice cream. But then my stomach started bothering me and I assumed it was from the iced coffee. So when I got home from the bank, I'm like, that brat diet, if you're a parent and you know about the brat diet, it's like the smartest diet ever. Bananas, rice, applesauce, toast to help when you have like stomach issues. So I asked my older son to make me toast with sun butter on it. And my friend brought bananas too, because I asked him to, because we were out of bananas. So I just had that, and then I had a Gatorade, because I just felt kind of dehydrated. I've been drinking a ton. Just checking texts, because those are constantly coming in. And they're great and helpful. I just can't. I don't have the energy right now. So I never ate his ice cream. I just had toast and Gatorade, which I needed the Gatorade. Note to self, I need to add that to my grocery list to get a bunch of Gatorade or Powerade or something with electrolytes. I've been drinking so much water. I've been consciously drinking like 100 ounces of water again a day, but it's just like it's not enough water. And part of it, I think, is because it's hot outside. I don't think I overdid yesterday. I know we went kayaking, but it was pretty leisurely kayaking. But I'm just exhausted. Like, I left, he left, and I went to pick up my son from work, and I'm like, I am toast. Like, I am just pooped. And I came back home, and I watched TV, and, like, watched, like, an hour show. And then, like, a half hour into it, I'm like, I don't even know what they're saying on the show anymore. And it was Big Brother. It wasn't like I'm watching, like, some National Geographic show or something that I had to pay attention to. It was Big Brother. And I didn't know what the hell they were saying. My blood pressure was fine. And I'm just like, I'm so tired. I'm like, I can't even pay attention to what's like happening on the show. And then I tried to lay down on the couch. Or I wanted to lay down on the couch. I have a sectional. And I just feel better when, like, my head is in the corner of the sectional, and I can just, like, lay out. Like, I'm 5'7", so I'm pretty tall for, like, a regular couch. But I was folding, the laundry was there, and it was helpful when the laundry was, washed for me. But I had to fold it and put it away, and it was just sitting there. I think it's been 3 days. It was washed on, I think it was washed Wednesday. I don't even know. It's been there for at least 2 days. I think. Long enough to annoy me. So I'm folding them. And, even to have to be cognizant of, putting the towels in one section, and putting my clothes in one section, and putting my son's clothes in the other section. But I'm like, why am I folding my son's clothes? He told me he already folded all his clothes. Granted, he's packing for college, so he's got a billion things on his mind right now. But I just got confused. Like, I shouldn't have to be folding, like, boy clothes because they're not supposed to be in the pile. And then I'm folding, like, my underwear. It's just such stupid things. And, like, 3 of them were the exact same kind of underwear. One was different, and it threw me. And I'm like, is that underwear supposed to go in that same pile? Because it's still underwear. Should I make a 4th pile for that kind of underwear? I'm like, what the frick am I even talking about? I just got so confused. And then I'm like, I just want to stop and lay down on the couch. And I can't because there's still laundry to fold. And I'm too tired to fold laundry. So what do I do? And this is a perfect example of, like, the kind of help that you need, that you're like, what do you even do? And my body is telling me, just, like, stop. Like, don't even try to watch TV. Don't try to do anything. But I'm just so in the zone that I can't think clearly. And my younger son said, why don't you just lay down? And I'm like, I can't lay down. Because it was, like, whatever the hell time it was. 5 something. And somebody was bringing dinner at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, I can't rest. Because I live in an apartment. It's like she can just, like, leave food someplace. She can't get in unless I'm awake to let her in. And I can't think logically of some other solution to how that would work. So I texted her and I said, like, I'm totally exhausted and I have to lay down and I need you to still bring dinner for me because I'm like this. I just can't. So my younger son was the one that was there, and I'm like, can you please just text him and figure it out? And I put the phone down and I went in my room, and which is where I am now. And I told Alexa, which I don't want to say in order to set her off, but I told Alexa to put music on in an hour. So, like, if I had an hour power nap, I would feel better. And she went off, and it felt like 5 minutes. I clearly slept for an hour, but no recollection. I was out. And I'm not a napper for this exact reason, because I'm like, I'm not functional to do anything that requires comprehension right now. I'm super, super thirsty. My stomach really hurts. I think part of it is nerves, because it's Saturday. The countdown's begun. Surgery is Friday. And there's only so much time. Imagine the surgery wasn't pushed back. I'm just so tired. And it's just so funny because yesterday I was like, woohoo, push, 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 go, go, go. And I even got an email from someone important, which I won't say who, so that will help to look over, after the kids and stuff. Like, so I can have, like, another surrogate parent there. And I got an email back from him, and he's like, got it covered, blah, blah. And he said something how, like, either he saw from my vlogging or whatever, or just knows my personality enough that, like, I'm handling it so brave and strong. I'm like, right now at this second, strong is not the word. I'm like, I don't feel strong. I don't mean emotionally or anything. It's just that I'm so physically tired. I'm mentally tired. My body is working in hyperdrive to put all its energy. I talked about that 100% thing. Right now, I think 98% is in my boob. Maybe 95. 5% is talking to you right now. So this is where I am. It's not so much a day of 37, it's more of a day of, like, it's the Saturday before the Friday of surgery. You know, it's less than a week away. I am anxious, not to the point of freaking out, clearly, because I'm not freaking out right now. But my stomach is kind of freaking out, because my stomach knows... Ow, my thumb. My stomach knows me more than anything else. My hair is like, ooh, look how tall my hair is. And I looked really nice today. Like, I have makeup on. Or maybe it's gone now. I don't know. I could have wiped it off. I had a nice shirt on. And, well, now you can see my sports bra. But I had a nice shirt on with little cutout sleeves. I had nice earrings on. And I had a ring. Oh, I still have my ring on. I had bracelets on. I had a nice necklace on. I have my denim shorts on with my nice little belt. All to look nice for me and for you. And right now I'm in bed. And took my jewelry off, except I guess I forgot my ring. You can't be Wonder Woman every day. Gotta listen to your body. And just slow it down. And like I said, I'm not a napper. Because I know, like, when I nap, it's like I wake up. Some people can take naps, and they're power naps. And they wake up, and they're like, okay, ready to get up and at 'em. That's not me. If I take a nap, like, it's just like I'm still halfway sleeping until I actually go to bed. But I needed to just lay down. So I'm going to just chill here for a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is where I am. On day 7, but more importantly, the Saturday before the Friday before surgery. And I pooped. I'm respecting my body by laying down when I needed to, and by not eating the ice cream I really wanted to eat. But I had such a nice time catching up with him. It was more catching up. Like, we had pretty deep conversations. That's the great thing about people that I'm connected with through Landmark. We have such deep conversations. And we can have, like, dumb conversations, too. Not dumb, like shallow, but the nice thing I like about people that have done that work is that you have the ability to have those kind of deep conversations. And they don't have to be, like, all philosophical and stuff. It's just, you know, like, they truly, want the world for you. And, you know, you share such things about your life. And they help you in ways. And then you see these awesome things that happen to these people. And it's just, it's great. Like, it really is. Like, he came today and he was just, I could see he was just beaming. He was so happy. I was gonna say, like, are you pregnant? Because you're beaming. But he's happy, and I'm so happy for him. Like, he's young. He's 24. 24, I think. And he has his whole life ahead of him with like all these things he could do. And another cool thing about people I meet through that work is some people I've talked to are like 18, still in high school or just having finished high school. And some people are like 70. And it doesn't even matter how old someone is. Like, everyone has some gift to share with you and a lesson to learn. And while we have like deep conversations and stuff, I did go out New Year's a couple of years ago before the last New Year's before the pandemic, as we were rolling in 2020. And it was such a fun night out. It was me, him, and and a female friend of ours from Landmark. We just had so much fun. It was a lot. It was a good time. It's not all deep conversations, but you have each other's backs. Like I've never been around stuff like that where people just have your backs and they become your family and your brothers and sisters and whatever in such a way that like is quick and fast. Weirdly like Big Brother, as I'm talking about reality TV. People on those reality shows, like if I think of Survivor, just because I've watched that more, you're on the island for 39 days, I think, which sounds like not a lot of time, but when you're all in like the elements together like that, and you're facing such big, battles together that are, unique to that situation, you do have this bond that's like nothing else. I mean, obviously I've never been on Survivor to know what that's like, but I do know that that's like with Landmark. We're all going through work to, work isn't the best word, but it's the most generic word I can think of, to help us like see things in each other and, taking a stand that, like, not all of us are BFFs. And that's not realistic. Like, you click with some people and some you don't, whatever. But there are people in that group that I clicked with that, like, walking down the street, probably wouldn't think that I would stop and just sit there and chit-chat. There's one person in that group. It's so funny. There's one, I'm not using names. I don't like to do that for these. But there's one person in that group who is, oh gosh, he's really tall. I'm 5'7", so I'm guessing he's like 6'4" or so. 6'4", thin black man. And he, it doesn't really matter that he's thin, but the way he dresses and whatever, like, and the way I don't know, like, I guess physically when I look at the two of us in pictures and stuff, like when we used to hang out as a group, like our backgrounds are clearly very different. And a lot of times he puts on this like, face, like he looks like he's, not unhappy, just like fighting so hard to have his voice heard because he's got such like huge things to share and huge life experiences that he's had. But then like he'll smile and laugh at the corniest of jokes and he just like softens up, and it's just so funny to see someone who's like, got that. And I guess I have that resting bitch face too. I guess it's the best comparison I can think of. And then just like seeing him just like be like and crack up, and it's like he's like a big marshmallow. He's a tough guy. He's really a big marshmallow. It's just, those friendships to me are just so special. And someone else too who like has taught me a ton about himself, and even terms of like sexuality and how people identify themselves that are the terms I had never heard of, to help me understand more about, like, gender identity and stuff. Um, but there's an interesting connection there that he's able to understand the way my thought processes work so clearly. And when I'm trying to figure out something and I really am having a tough time understanding a situation, and when it's like hard to explain how you're feeling, and some people are like, oh, are you feeling this? And you're like, no. And are you feeling this? No. What I like so much about him and treasure so much about him is that he talks to you in a way that draws the right word out of you that might not even have been in your space. And one of the biggest things that I'll share with you that he had me see, what it's interesting that he had me see was that, like, I started this work over 2 years ago or so, and I just tried so hard. You try to control outcomes in different ways. Not because I'm sadistic or, like, manipulative. It's not that. It's just like, oh, if I say this, this will happen. And if I be this way, maybe this will happen. When, like, none of that's true. We don't have nearly as much control as we think we do. Even if you're a control freak, we don't have control over stuff the way you think people do. There's too many moving pieces. And I'm like, okay, I can learn to be, less stuck in my ways or whatever. But there was a word and I just couldn't think of, like, what's that word? How do I have to be? What needs to change in my life? And after, what a patient man he is, because it took, like, I think 3 hours out of a drive home from New York City for him to help me think of the word surrender. Like, I just have to surrender. Not give up, but surrender. It's different. Surrender and, like, not trying so hard. And having trust in how life unfolds. And even with my heart talking about, like, partners and that kind of thing. Just, like, stop trying so hard. I don't like online dating apps. I would rather meet a person, like, in person. I find myself, like, super charismatic if I meet people, like, even at the grocery store, something silly and normal. But on online dating apps, I'm like, I can't think of how to be witty in a text or a message. It's so much harder. Maybe it works well for, like, people that are in a younger generation, but not for me. But even for that, surrendering in that, like, I don't have to say the most perfect thing when I'm messaging somebody, a potential suitor, on online dating things. I don't have to try so hard to have things be what I think they should be with former partners. Of course you want life to be, like, happy and rainbows and sunshine. But that's not what it is, and you don't have control. You have control over your part, but you don't have control over other people. So to give myself the ability to just surrender and just let things be, just take stuff off your shoulders. And I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. And if he's watching, by the way, because I know I haven't reached out to him for a while, and I'm pretty sure when I say the word surrender, that he knows who I'm talking about. He's been such a big influence on so many things with how I am with people. And I hope he gets that, because sometimes he thinks that, like, he doesn't have people, and I will always have his back. I don't even know what code word to use that he knows I'm talking to him. And it's not like a romantic thing at all. That's not what I mean. I mean, he's crazy attractive. He's a model, but it's not like that. It's not like that with him at all. It's just there's people that come into your life that make you a better person. And he's one of those people. And because of like who he is in my life, I will always have his back no matter what. And always be grateful for what he's like taught me. Am I still recording? Yeah. All right. So I'm not gonna get up. I'm gonna surrender and stay where I am. If I surrender, I'm not giving up. I'm surrendering to the fact that I'm tired. And my stomach is still not great. But my body does not have energy right now. So what I'm surrendering in is that my body needs a break. And while there are 15 reminders on my phone right now that are overdue, I'm not going to get them done tonight. I'm not. I need to just chill. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what the moral of today was. And if you've noticed, I don't put as many descriptions down in my YouTube videos. Part of that is, like, I used to rewatch these. I always rewatch them when I'm done to make sure that I don't say something silly. Not silly, just that it's okay for me with whatever I've said to put on YouTube. But I've never, like, deleted a vlog and redone one. That's a lot of time wasted. We all know I don't have a knack for being brief. Anyway, I'm so tired. I don't know what the point of what I was saying was. Oh, I don't put descriptions down anymore. Yeah, I used to put descriptions down to help guide people watching as to what they could get out of what I'm, sharing, but I don't have the energy. I don't have the time or the energy. It's not because I don't care. If you really want to know how this process works, you're just going to have to bear with me and just listen for longer than you probably expect to. That's it. I'm so happy that I vlog versus writing in journals. I'm not a journaler. I don't like to write. But clearly I have the gift of talking a lot. So here's my journal. Alright, I'm going to lay here for a little bit longer, but then I can't stay here because I still need to hydrate. And see what's going on with dinner that's out. I know that my son put it in the oven, which was so sweet. And I know that part of my dinner includes rice, which is something I definitely need. So yeah, that's where I am. I have no things to share with you about gratitude. I feel like I incorporated them. And whatever the moral of today is, I don't know, you figure it out. I'm surrendering to having missions to everything. Alright, listen to your bodies, people. I guess that's my moral. Alright, toodles.